Keto chocolate and slimming chocolate are just marketing terms for chocolates where some of the carbohydrate-rich ingredients are swapped out for low-carb alternatives. The most commonly replaced ingredients in these keto treats are sugar, milk, and starches. Sugars are replaced with various artificial and natural sweeteners. Often a blend of these sweeteners is used to mimic the natural sweetness of sugar as closely as possible. Milk, which contains lactose, is a type of sugar. To make it keto-friendly, the lactose is often removed from the milk solids, resulting in a whey protein isolate, or the milk is entirely replaced with low-carb alternatives like coconut milk. Finally, thickening agents like flour or starch help the bulk and enhance the texture of chocolate, especially those with caramel or soft fillings. In keto chocolates, these are replaced by various soluble fibers, such as modified or resistant starches, inulin, carrageenan, or gums that aren't absorbed into the bloodstream as sugar. If you've tried keto chocolates and experienced more gas and bloating than usual, it's because these soluble fibers aren't being absorbed. Instead, they're fermented by your gut bacteria, which can produce a lot of gas and bloating. Nevertheless, the overall result is a chocolate that looks and tastes very similar to the real thing, but has significantly fewer digestible carbs. But are keto or slimming chocolates actually effective for a keto diet or weight loss? Well, it kind of depends on the specific product, since there are so many different keto chocolates. So let's take a look at and compare a few popular keto chocolates. ChocZero is a chocolate that uses monk fruit extract as a sweetener. Monk fruit contains magrosides, which give it a sweet taste. While monk fruit extract doesn't have any known significant health issues, it can have a strange herbal aftertaste. They also use resistant dextrin to add bulk and texture to their chocolates. Resistant dextrin is a soluble fiber, specifically a modified form of starch. Another similar fiber is resistant maltodextrin, also known as soluble corn fiber. These fibers both work in similar ways to help with digestion and metabolism. Your gut bacteria can ferment this fiber and produce compounds like short-chain fatty acids that may provide some health benefits. Resistant dextrin might help improve bowel regularity, making it easier to have complete bowel movements. There's also some weak evidence that consuming resistant dextrin may slightly aid in weight loss in overweight adults. Other studies suggest that replacing regular starch with resistant starch can help control blood sugar levels. However, don't expect to see the same benefits from just eating a few keto chocolate treats like ChocZero. These studies usually involve replacing large amounts of regular starch with resistant starch, with daily doses in the tens of grams. Eating just a couple squares of keto chocolate instead of your regular bar isn't enough to make a difference. So while resistant dextrin has potential benefits, consuming it in small amounts in ChocZero realistically won't do anything. Quest Nutrition offers a range of low-carb, high-protein bars, using a mix of natural and artificial sweeteners. They include a few different soluble fibers for stability and bulk. Like ChocZero, they use a resistant starch, specifically soluble corn fiber. They also often use polydextrose. Polydextrose is a synthetic glucose polymer, but its benefits are a little more uncertain. Some studies suggest that polydextrose can help improve bowel movement frequency in regular individuals, but it does not seem to help those who are actually constipated. Additionally, polydextrose does not appear to benefit blood sugar levels or cholesterol levels. Quest bars also contain many other binders and fillers, making them higher in overall carbs and potentially less suitable for stricter keto diets. They also seem to be more processed and may not be the best choice for health-conscious individuals looking for a cleaner chocolate. Another popular option is the Atkins line of treats, which offers a wide variety of choices. The ingredients in Atkins chocolates can differ significantly, with each product using different combinations of natural and artificial sweeteners, as well as a large variety of soluble fibers and gums as thickening agents. For example, many Atkins chocolates use sugar alcohols like erythritol, sorbitol, and maltitol. These can cause significant gas and bloating in some people. Some treats use artificial sweeteners like sucralose, which don't cause as much gas as they pass through the digestive system because they are not metabolized. However, while the FDA considers sucralose safe, some research suggests it might harm DNA and contribute to a leaky gut. However, most of these studies do involve cells in animals, not humans. Nevertheless, many observational studies in humans have pointed to potential health risks with various artificial sweeteners. Much like Quest nutrition bars, Atkins treats are also significantly more processed and not the greatest option for health-conscious individuals. Keto Activate is a brand offering chocolate mixes specifically marketed for those following a keto diet. There isn't really much variety, however their unique selling point is the addition of beta-hydroxybutyrate, or BHB, a ketone body produced during ketosis. The belief is that supplementing with BHB can speed up the process of reaching ketosis and enhance results on a keto diet. However, this is not true. A study compared two groups, one following the keto diet alone and another following the keto diet with added BHB supplements. The findings revealed that while the keto diet alone effectively promoted fat and weight loss, adding BHB supplements did not offer any extra benefits. Though BHB supplements can increase blood ketone levels, this doesn't necessarily lead to increased fat burning or faster weight loss. Research indicates that for those already on a keto diet, additional BHB supplements don't provide significant advantages. The liver naturally produces enough BHB during ketosis, and extra supplementation will not affect metabolism or energy production. So the marketing claim that BHB enhances ketosis is highly misleading, and their Keto Activate is not any better than the other low-carb options for keto. So keto chocolate is high in fat, low in carbs, and tastes great. What's not to love? The issue isn't with the chocolate itself, but with the sweeteners used and the idea that keto chocolates can allow someone to indulge freely in these treats. While it might seem logical that replacing sugar with sweeteners will help with weight loss, the overall evidence suggests otherwise. Studies suggest that artificial sweeteners do not help with weight or fat loss. In fact, regular use of these sweeteners over a long period seems to increase BMI and obesity risk factors. Research also indicates that long-term use of artificial sweeteners raises the risk of developing diabetes. And for people with type 2 diabetes, these sweeteners are likely not a better alternative to sugar. So if sweeteners remove the sugar, why does the research suggest they seem to be no better for weight loss and diabetes than regular sugar? There are a few possible reasons. First, some people might think they can eat more sweet foods when using sweeteners, believing it to be a guilt-free indulgence. This is a problem with keto chocolate because even without sugar, it still contains a lot of empty calories, for example from fat. So you might end up consuming more calories overall, negating any benefit from removing the sugar. Second, these sweeteners are often much sweeter than sugar, sometimes up to 13,000 times sweeter. Sucralose, for example, is around 600 times sweeter than sugar. Regular consumption of overly sweet foods can alter your taste preferences, increasing cravings for even sweeter foods. This can lead to overeating high-calorie sugary foods. Third, although sweeteners do not directly affect blood sugar levels, they might still affect the body's metabolic responses like insulin sensitivity and glucose regulation. Some artificial sweeteners can harm the gut microbiome over time, potentially affecting metabolism and energy regulation. However, the actual impact likely varies from person to person. So if you're turning to keto chocolate to satisfy a chocolate craving, it might seem like a good short-term fix. However, it likely won't help with weight management in the long run and may even be problematic for your metabolism. I'm not saying keto chocolate is all bad, but the idea that you could eat it freely without negative effects on your weight or health is highly misleading. You might benefit more from simply cutting out the sweet foods you eat daily. Cravings for sweets can be like an addiction, and feeding this addiction, even with keto chocolate, can keep these cravings alive. If you're trying to kick a chocolate addiction, avoiding all sweet tasting foods, including keto chocolate, might be the best approach. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Do you like keto chocolate? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know who can use the info.